December 1st, 1955. Montgomery, Alabama. A cold winter evening begins to settle over the city. A public bus, glowing yellow under the streetlights, rumbles along its route. Inside, the seats are filling up. A 42-year-old seamstress, her shoulders aching from a long day hunched over fabric, finds a spot in the designated colored section. Her name is Rosa Parks. She's tired. Tired from work, yes, but also tired of a system designed to make her feel small, to remind her of her place every single day. As more white passengers board, the driver, James F. Blake, glances in his rearview mirror. He orders the 4 black passengers in the front row of the colored section to stand. 3 comply. Rosa Parks does not. She remains seated, a quiet, unmovable force. In that moment of silent defiance, she wasn't just refusing to give up her seat. She was refusing to accept the injustice that had defined her entire life. This single act, by this one woman, would ignite a firestorm, sparking a movement that would change the course of American history forever. Many people think of Rosa Parks as simply a tired seamstress who spontaneously decided she'd had enough. But that picture, while powerful, is incomplete. The truth is, Rosa Parks was a seasoned activist, a dedicated soldier in the long, arduous battle for civil rights. Long before that fateful day on the bus, she was already fighting. She had been the secretary for the Montgomery chapter of the NAACP since 1943, working alongside its leader, E.D. Nixon. She investigated cases of racial violence and discrimination, meticulously documenting the injustices faced by her community. She even attended the Highlander Folk School, a training center for activists in Tennessee, just a few months before her arrest. This wasn't a random act of fatigue, it was a calculated act of courage, born from years of dedication and a deep understanding of the power of nonviolent protest. She knew the risks, she knew the potential consequences, and she did it anyway. So when the driver, James Blake, threatened to have her arrested, Rosa Parks looked at him calmly and said, "You may do that." Those 4 simple words carried the weight of decades of oppression and the strength of a lifetime of resolve. The police were called and she was arrested, fingerprinted, and charged. News of her arrest spread like wildfire through Montgomery's black community. E.D. Nixon saw the opportunity he had been waiting for, a test case with a plaintiff who was not only brave but also unimpeachable in character. Rosa Parks was respected, quiet, and dignified. She was the perfect symbol for a movement. That very night, leaders of the community, including a young, charismatic preacher named Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., gathered to plan their response. They decided on a one-day boycott of the city's bus system. They printed and distributed thousands of leaflets calling for solidarity. They had no idea if it would work. They hoped a few hundred people might participate. On the morning of December 5th, the day of Rosa's trial, an incredible silence fell over the streets of Montgomery. The city buses, usually packed with black workers, rumbled along, nearly empty. The boycott was an overwhelming success. Not hundreds, but tens of thousands of people chose to walk, some for miles, or to organize intricate carpools, rather than submit to the humiliation of the segregated buses. That one-day protest turned into 2 days, then a week, then a month. It grew into the Montgomery Bus Boycott, a massive, coordinated campaign of nonviolent resistance that lasted for an astonishing 381 days. The community faced immense pressure. They endured threats, violence, and economic hardship. Their leaders, including Dr. King, had their homes bombed. Yet, they held firm, united by a shared purpose and inspired by the quiet courage of Rosa Parks. Their perseverance paid off. On November 13, 1956, the U.S. Supreme Court declared that segregation on public buses was unconstitutional. It was a monumental victory, a turning point in the civil rights movement that demonstrated the incredible power of ordinary people standing together against injustice. Rosa Parks became a national icon, forever known as the mother of the civil rights movement. But her fight didn't end there. The fame brought hardship. She and her husband lost their jobs and faced constant threats, eventually moving to Detroit. She continued her activism for the rest of her life, working for Congressman John Conyers, and lending her voice to causes of social justice around the world. Rosa Parks' story is a powerful reminder that history is often shaped not by grand armies or powerful politicians, but by the courageous choices of individuals. She wasn't just a tired woman on a bus. She was a strategic activist, a lifelong fighter for equality, and a symbol of quiet, unyielding dignity. Her legacy teaches us that one person, in one moment, can refuse to accept the unacceptable and, in doing so, inspire a movement that changes the world. Her simple act of sitting down allowed millions to stand up. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as inspiring as we do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of the people who shaped our history. We'll see you in the next one.